I was 10 games away from the dream I'd worked for my whole life, 10 games away from everything I thought defined me, the NFL, the status, the story of redemption. From the time I was 7, I believed hard work could fix everything. Up before dawn, training while the world slept, running to the fire station and back, whispering prayers that God would open the door that every sacrifice had built. I thought I had earned the right to control my destiny. And then, one moment changed everything, a tackle I had made 1,000 times before. And suddenly, my body went numb. I hit the ground and felt every breath leave my chest. I tried to move, nothing. The doctor said, "You don't have a pulse. You shouldn't even be alive." And lying there, I didn't just lose a career, I lost my identity. All the plans I made, all the hours of sweat and discipline, gone in an instant. That's when I learned something life-changing. God's no is often His greatest mercy, because when your plan dies, His purpose begins. After surgery, I sat in that hospital bed staring at a paralyzed arm that would never move again. And I asked God the question we all whisper in the dark: why me? I had done everything right, stayed focused, disciplined, faithful, yet the dream was gone. But then I realized I had built my entire life around my plan, not God's purpose. I did good things, but I never did the right thing. And that's when I felt it deep inside. Son, you've limited me to your dream, but I'm building something eternal in you. Sometimes we say, Lord, just let me get there first, then you can redirect me. But God won't compete with your idols. He'll break the plan if it means saving your purpose. His no wasn't punishment. It was protection. Romans 8:28 reminds us, all things work together for good to those who love God. Even the pain you don't understand is preparing a promise you can't yet see. We all know how to praise when God says yes. We know how to celebrate when doors open. But can you still trust Him when the answer is silence? Can you still lift your hands when your prayers echo back unanswered? God's no isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's that sacred pause between your will and His wisdom. When I lost football, I thought I lost everything, but God was saving me from myself. He showed me that success without surrender is still failure. So now I ask differently, not why me, but what now, Lord? Because sometimes His no is the door that leads to destiny, and the pain you survive becomes the sermon somebody else needs. Every morning, God hands you a blank page. Yesterday's failures don't have to write today's story. His word says in Lamentations 3:23, His mercies are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness. So before the noise, before the rush, whisper, Father, thank you for another day. Let gratitude reset your spirit. The moment you thank Him for breath, bitterness loses its power. You don't need everything to be perfect. You just need perspective. Joy doesn't come from what happens to you. It flows from who's within you. Every sunrise is proof that failure isn't final and pain isn't permanent. Today isn't payback, it's preparation. And mercy is the evidence that God hasn't finished with you yet. Each morning, you have a choice. Carry yesterday's disappointment into today's opportunity, or let God renew your mind. Start by saying, Father, thank you for what's right in my life. Don't focus on who left or what failed. You survived what was meant to destroy you. That's reason enough to praise Him. Philippians 4:8 says, whatever is true, whatever is noble, think on these things. Faith doesn't deny the storm. It just refuses to let the storm define the day. The way you start your morning determines the altitude of your day. So rise early, even for 5 minutes. Pray, worship, reset. If the enemy can steal your morning, he'll steal your peace. Guard it fiercely. You can argue with words, but not with a transformed life. You can debate theology, but you can't debate consistency. When I lost the dream, I thought my witness had ended, but that's when it truly began. My father met Christ because of my injury. Teammates who reached the league gave their lives to God, not because of my pain, but because of his power shining through it. Sometimes your obedience becomes someone else's open door. Your suffering becomes another person's sanctuary. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." When people watch how you handle hardship, they see who holds you together. There's a strength that only grows in silence. Faith matures when you trust God after disappointment. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he will strengthen your heart." When doors close, remember his timing is perfect. You might feel hidden, but you're being healed. You might feel delayed, but you're being developed. One day, you'll thank God for the prayers he didn't answer. Those no's protected you from battles you weren't meant to fight. He's not late. He's precise. You're not behind. You're in process, and his hand is steady, even when your plan is not. The NFL dream died, but purpose was born. And now every time I stand before people, I feel that same fire I once felt before the game, only now it's eternal. I learned that true greatness isn't in applause, it's in obedience, not in stadiums filled, but in souls reached. Every day is another chance to whisper, "Lord, use me." James 4:8 says, "Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you." So wake up tomorrow. Put God first. Let gratitude replace grumbling. Let purpose replace pride. Let his will rewrite your plans. Even when life says no, God is still saying, "Trust me." And the same God who turned tragedy into testimony will take your broken pieces and build something beautiful. Every breath is grace, every sunrise is mercy, and every no from heaven is a doorway to something greater.